Hi everyone. We are going to do a 30-minute yoga class today, focusing on some flexibility. So I want you to grab a strap. And if you're not sure what a strap might be, it could be a robe belt. It could be just scarf. I'm using a bungee cord, which might be a horrible idea, but that's what I've got down here in the basement. So that's what I'll be using today. You might use something softer and less dangerous. And this is gonna be for stretching our body, our legs, our shoulders. I hope you have a space that you can lay out a yoga mat. And beyond that, maybe have a block if you have a block at home, but if you don't, that's okay. All right, sorry about the baby yelling upstairs. He'll go to sleep in a minute, I promise. All right, we're going to start lying. You can have your strap off to the side and your block off to the side if you have them. If you don't have either of those, that's okay. I'll tell you what to do. And you're gonna come to lie on your back. Let's have our knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and rest your knees in together. Put your feet wider than your hips. The arms rest down by your sides with your palms facing upwards, or if it feels better, you can rest your hands on your belly. Good. Keep going here. I'm just gonna check one thing. So we're lying on our backs. And if your hands are on your belly, you might feel this in your hands. If not, you're just feeling the skin of your belly. Feel your belly get bigger on your in-breath. And then you breathe out, you let the belly release back. Breathing in and out through your nose, or maybe in and out through your mouth, depending on what feels better for you today. I'm just gonna rest here for about a minute. Notice if your mind has a zillion thoughts. Try and bring your awareness to your breath. Feel your breath moving in your belly. And we'll walk the feet back to hips width, and I want you to bend one knee in and hug that knee in with your hands to your chest and extend the other leg on the floor. You can press the other heel down into the floor. Now use your arms to start to stir that knee around, like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your knee. But see if you can use your arms to do the work so that your leg can relax, your hips can relax, and your arms are stirring that leg around. And then reverse your circle, going the other way. Maybe it's a little bit bigger of a circle now in this direction. If any parts of this or any part of your practice doesn't feel good, you can make the movement smaller or find a way to move in a way that does not hurt. Right. Pause with your knee in towards your chest and then take your hands behind the back of your leg and reach the leg up towards the ceiling. It might straighten all the way, or you might keep it bent. Either is fine. And then start to circle your ankle around. And I'm doing really big circles with my toes. And I'm going pretty slowly so that I'm not missing any spots. If someone were to look at a drawing of the circle you're doing with your big toe, it would be a big smooth circle. And let's reverse the direction. I think my baby is finally asleep, so we'll have a little bit of quiet for half an hour. Good. And then you can release that leg And extend the leg on the floor and just take a moment to relax. Oh, we already did one side, one exercise. How does that feel in your body? Does your right leg feel different than your left leg? And then we'll switch sides. So you're going to press the second heel into the floor and draw your other knee into the chest, starting with those circles of your bent knee and hugging my shin with my hands and making circles with that leg. Notice if your hips are rocking around from side to side a lot. That would mean that you're doing less movement with your leg and more movement with your pelvis. You want to try and make the pelvis pretty stable on the floor, even as your leg moves around. And that means you're engaging your core to do some of this work. So the belly muscles are working. Right, can you reverse the circle going in the opposite direction? Two more. Again, if any parts of this circle don't feel good, maybe you take a little bit of a slower movement through that spot, or you can skip it altogether. All right, put the knee hugged in towards the chest, take the hands behind the leg, reach that leg up and start to circle your circles, big, like you're doing a big calligraphy lesson on the ceiling with your toes. Let's reverse the circle. Maybe your foot's starting to cramp a little bit because you don't do this very often. This is one that's fun to do when you're watching TV or something. It's just nice to do after a long day of standing, walking around. Okay. All right, and we'll release that foot to the floor. You can place that foot on the floor, knee bent. Find your strap or whatever you're using it as a strap and get your first leg, that one up, and take the strap over your foot, around your foot, reach the leg up into the ceiling, and then extend your other leg again. If that doesn't feel good for your low back, you can keep the knee, the bottom leg knee bent still. Otherwise, it's straight, the other leg is straight, and it's straight because I have this strap around my foot so that I can reach up into it, and I don't have to catch my foot. Good. If your flexibility is such that even getting your leg right over your hips does not work, let your knee bend. Okay, so you don't want to be way down here. That's hard for your low back. You can get the leg over the hip, even if that means the knee's bent, and then work on straightening the leg over time. Let's breathe here. On an in-breath, feel the stretch at the back of the leg. And on your out breath, see if you can relax something. Maybe it's your tongue or your jaw or your shoulders. A few more breaths. Good. You're going to keep that foot up into the strap and just hold it. If your right leg is up, you're just going to hold it with your right hand. My left arm goes out to the left, and then open that right leg out to the side as far as you can go without rolling off of your hips. So you want to keep your both hips down on the floor as your leg goes out to the side. This should feel like a nice stretch for your inner leg, like where the seam of your pants is. I'm pushing my feet out away from me. I'm still breathing. Your belly muscles, your abdominals are engaged so that you're not rolling over to the side. Your belly button's still looking up towards the ceiling. And then slowly bring that leg back up and slip the strap off of that leg. And we'll release it to the floor and take the second side. My left leg is going up. You're just doing whatever side you haven't done yet. And then maybe extend that bottom leg if that feels good for you. All right. So this is a different side. If you need to bend your leg more, that's fine. If it's a little bit straighter, that's fine too. Again, find your breath here. When we're in a deep stretch, it's easy to start breathing not as deeply. So see if you can take an in breath for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathing out 1, 2, 3. A few more deep breaths. Let's switch the strap over into your left hand if your left leg is up. The other arm goes out to the side, and then open that leg out to the side as far as you can while keeping both hips on the floor. In yoga, in Sanskrit, this position is called Supta Padangusthasana 2, which means that you're lying down, holding onto your big toe. We're using a strap today, but sometimes you can hold onto your big toe and your leg is out to the side. All right, bring that leg back up and slip your foot out of the strap. The strap can come off to the side. Very nice. Let's hug both knees in and just rock from side to side for a moment. Massaging out your low back. All right. And then reach your arms up and back behind you. Maybe your fingertips touch the floor and reach your legs up towards the ceiling. So I'm in like an L shape. My back's on the floor, my legs are up. I want you to press your toes up towards the ceiling, like they're gonna poke holes in the ceiling. Keep your left toes poking holes and slowly begin to lower your right leg, maybe halfway down to the floor. Let's see how far you can go. When you're here, only halfway, not all the way down. Can you feel your low back press into the floor? So if your low back has lifted way off the floor, bring your leg up again. Press your low back down into the floor and then see if you can come down halfway with that leg. If your low back is pressing down into the floor, maybe lower your leg just to hover it an inch over the floor. You're still breathing. And slowly bring that leg up. Good. So we're doing leg lowers here. The left leg lowers down halfway and you pause and you check, is my low back pressing into the floor? So I'm engaging my abdominals. If so, lower down a little bit more. If not, back up a little bit more. And then slowly bringing it up. Good. Let's try a few more side to side. Right leg goes down and up. Left leg and up. One more time, both sides. Right leg and up. Left leg and up. Good. Hug your knees into your chest one more time. Let's start to rock like an egg from head to tail. Up and down, up and down. A few more. Feeling your spine on the floor. And when you roll all the way up, come forwards onto your hands and knees. All right. I'm spreading my hands under my shoulders. I'm placing my knees under my hips. And let's find a cat-cow. So inhaling to arch through the back, head up, tail up. And then exhale, round through the spine, head down, looking towards your belly button. Inhale to lift your head and tail. Exhale to round. If other movements here feel good, do that. Wiggle out your spine. and moving like you're in the washing machine, whatever feels good for you. And then let's tuck our toes and push the floor away with your hands. Just see how rather than kind of collapsing the chest down into the floor, you can float the chest away from the floor when you push the floor away with your hands. Engage your belly and then lift your knees 1 inch off of the floor. So you can barely see that, but I'm just floating my knees 1 inch. And we're gonna hold this. It's like a plank, but our knees are bent. Let's hold this for about 30 seconds. If you need to take a rest, you always can place your knees back down. Otherwise, we're here. And for me, my quadriceps, the muscles at the tops of my legs, the front of my thighs, starts to get tired first, especially around the knees. This is a great one. If you ever have knee pain, maybe you sprain your knee, this is a great exercise to do. Let's take another 10 seconds. You can do it. Keep breathing. And on your next exhale, push your hips back, take downward facing dog. The hips go back and up, the legs straighten as much as feels good. So the knees could stay quite bent here, or they straighten up to you. If it feels good to bend one knee and then the other, do that. Moving intuitively, that means do it in a way that feels good to you. And let's tippy toe our feet forwards towards your hands. The knees can bend. Drop your head down into the floor and hang over your legs. You can catch your elbows. Your head is hanging down towards the floor. The elbows are relaxing down towards the floor. Maybe sway from side to side. And then release your arms and roll yourself up. Head is still heavy until the very last moment. And then you're looking forward. Good. This is called mountain pose. Let me change my camera so you can see my head. This is called mountain pose. Our arms are reaching down. Standing either with the feet together or the feet a little bit wider. And reach your arms up. You can look up towards the ceiling. Let your palms touch. And then on the exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. And with a straight back, just begin to tip forwards. Good. Just come to be parallel over the floor. So it's not a big stretch. In fact, you could bend your knees if this is a big stretch. And then push down into the floor to come back up. Let's try that again. Tip forwards. And pause. So we're in this L shape again, but now our feet are on the floor and our spine or torso is floating, and come back up. That might be enough for you, or maybe reach your arms up this time. And again, tip forwards. Oh, that's a lot heavier for my back to support because my arms are an extra load hanging out there in front of me. Push down into the floor, come up. You can do that a few more times with arms up or bring them back in front of your heart. Tip forwards, hold. Feel your back muscles strong. And up. Let's do 2 more. Tip forwards and hold. And up. Last one. Tip forwards and hold. Good. This time, let's bend the knees to come into chair pose. So sit your hips down towards the floor. Arms are still reaching alongside the ears. This is called chair pose, or maybe even thunderbolt pose because your body's in this zigzag. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. Twist over to the right. Take your elbow to your outer leg. Palms are pressing into one another and you're turning towards the ceiling. Good. And then regular chair pose, arms reaching. And then once more, hands in front of the heart, twist to the other direction. Chair pose. Push down, stand up. Mountain pose. Can you close your eyes in mountain pose? Even though you're standing on 2 feet, sometimes this can feel like a balanced position. We don't usually stand on both of our feet evenly. Usually we're hanging out on one hip, so it's interesting to just see how this feels. Is this a weird place to stand? All right, blink your eyes open. Good. Let's find our strap again. So I'm grabbing my bungee cord. And we're going to find mountain pose. You can have your feet together or a little bit wider, and then hold on to your strap. And I'm holding in a way that I can slide out on my strap if I need to. All right. Reach your arms forwards. Engage your belly. So notice if your belly's way forwards, try and stand in a nice line and maintain that as you reach your arms up. And then circle your arms back behind you. If you needed to widen out on the strap, that's fine. Find your engagement of your belly again, your core, reach the arms back and come up and forwards. We're going to do that a few more times. Reach arms up, slide out on the strap if you need to circle your arms back and down and back. Lift your arms up and over your head to come forwards. We'll do 2 more. Up and back, down, back, and up and forwards. Last one. Up, back, down. You should feel some nice stretching through the shoulders here. And forwards. Good. Let's hold the strap in just your right hand. Reach your arm up and then bend your elbow. So the strap is behind you. I take my other hand. I'm going to bend my elbow as well. And I'm going to catch my strap. Okay, so I'll show from the back. I'm holding onto the strap with both hands. One elbow is up, one elbow is down. This is called, with your arms, this arm position is called cow face pose or Gomukhasana arms. Cow face pose. Good. You should feel a nice stretch, hopefully through your tricep, this muscle right here. And then release that bottom hand, release the top hand, switch the strap into the other hand. Arm up, elbow bends, arm down, elbow bends, and catch. Keep breathing. Good. And release. Take that strap off to the floor. You're done with it. Good. Let's open our feet wide as your mat. Open your arms wide as your mat. And then turn your right toes to the top of your mat or just towards the wall in front of you. And bend that front knee. So we're in warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, back hand down to the leg. Front arm up and over your head. Good. And then take that front arm to your knee or just to your top thigh. And reach now the other arm up and over your head into a side angle position. Good. And then press down to come up. Arms are wide. Switch your feet. Left toes turn towards your other wall. Bend into warrior 2. Front knee is bent. Reverse your warrior. Back hand goes down. Front arm goes up and over. And then side angle. Elbow to knee, top arm up and over. Good. Come on up, both arms wide, both legs wide. Take your hands behind your back catch your fingers, so interlace your hands and see if you can lift the hands up off of your bum. And if this feels okay, tip forwards and hang forwards. If you want to leave the arms out of this and your hands are just on the floor, that's great too. Take a few breaths here. Okay, release your arms, bend your knees, come on up to standing, and heel toe your feet together. I'll turn my camera down so you can see the floor again. We're gonna fold forwards, take your hands to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. There's a lot of shoulder stretching today. We're gonna step 1 foot forward, so my right foot's gonna step to the other edge of my mat. And I'm going to let my hips lower down, and this is called pigeon pose. If this doesn't feel good, you add a block or a pillow or 10 pillows under that front hip, all right, so that you're comfortable. And then maybe you could be up, you could come forwards, your head could be on the floor, whatever feels good for you in this pigeon pose. In Sanskrit, this is Ekapadaraja Kapotasana. Breathing deeply. Take any supports you have away, tuck your back toes, slip your front leg back into downward dog once more. And let's go to our second side, left leg coming forwards, foot to the opposite side of your mat, and take pigeon pose in whatever variation works for you. You can stay up, you can lean forward. This should be a pretty big stretch for your outer hip, this space right here in your bum, side bum area. Good. This time to come out, just tip over to your left side to bring the other leg forwards. Both feet on the floor in front of you, reach your arms forwards and then round through your belly, and you're gonna lower down slowly, slowly, slowly until your head comes on the floor. Good. Let's take a twist to finish our practice. Bend your knees into the chest and roll them over to the side, any side. Arms are out in a wide T position. Feel this stretch through your chest and maybe shoulders. And keep breathing. And then bring your knees back up and over to the other side. You can let your eyes close. We're slowing down our practice. This is the last thing before Shavasana. Bring your knees back up. You're going to take Shavasana, which is in Sanskrit, what it means is corpse pose. So that's where we lie on our backs. The legs are straight and the arms are down by the sides. But if this doesn't feel good for your body, you could put your legs up the wall. You could sit up. Just find somewhere that you can be quiet and still with your body for a minute or two. We're going to take a minute here to be pretty quiet. Let the eyes close. Can you feel your breath in the body again? Do you feel it in the nose or the chest, or the belly? Can you hear your breath moving through the body? And slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a bigger in breath. And then exhale through the mouth. Try that again. A big in breath through the nose. Release the exhale. You can bend your knees in. So roll to your side and press up. Come to any comfortable seated position. If you want to sit on a block or on a chair, your bed. I like to close my eyes again here, just so that I don't get up and into the rest of my life too quickly. It's a moment to say, oh, I just did a nice 30-minute yoga practice. I'm going to try to move through the rest of my day with a little bit more quiet, thoughtfulness, space, and kindness. So thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you feel a little bit better in your body, maybe in your mind. Let me know how it goes in your workout log.